Hey everybody, Jason Bermas here, and what you're about to watch is part of that second hour that we do over at redvoicemedia.com/Jason or /uncensored. That really does help support the broadcast at only $10 a month. Now remember, you can listen live for free, and every 2 weeks, the whole hour is free over at redvoicemedia.com. But for those that just want to, hang back, I get it. Look, I'm trying to put this information out for everybody, and that's why we make it free. So I hope that you enjoy this sample of the second hour, and if you do, consider supporting the broadcast. The links are down below. I love you guys, and enjoy. All right, so we are going, and I want to play this clip here. This is from that DVD, and it's just kind of like, listen, I'm fascinated by this stuff. Because obviously on some level it's prepackaged and you can't believe it, and I'll show you why in a minute. But at the same time, the archive footage is totally fascinating, and I think that it reveals more than some people really realize out there.
Aircraft to fly faster, farther, and at a lower operating cost. This sleek black plane, the YF-12, capable of flying 2,000 miles per hour, made 25 test flights. The joint NASA Air Force program is studying problems associated with propulsion, in-flight stopping and restarting of engines, heating, and structural dynamics. The research is aimed at furthering the development and operations of future civil and military aircraft. 8 times the M2 lifting body was carried aloft and dropped over the dry lake desert in central California.
Now take a look at that thing, that little thing. If you see, it looks like a boat in the sky. So again, you got to realize a lot of the UFOs, if not all of the UFOs, are military aircraft and different types of propulsion systems they're not telling you about. Different types of satellite systems, weapon systems, even holographic systems. That's what you're watching. You're not watching aliens.
The wingless M2 and other lifting body types are the research forerunners of craft like the proposed shuttle that could fly a space mission and then return through the Earth's atmosphere and land like an airplane.
Which, at least as far as we know, has never really come to fruition. Okay? There's never been like a shuttle lander from a rocket ever. We're still in the capsule era.
A new flight program began at NASA's Ames Research Center with the X-14B vertical takeoff and landing plane.
See, check that out.
Equipped with an onboard digital computer, the X-14 serves as a flying flight simulator by duplicating in advance the piloting qualities of proposed new planes. The Ames Center is also responsible for doing research on short takeoff and landing aircraft. This is one of the planes used to test new concepts, the OV-10A Bronco. The United States is very interested in developing a short takeoff and landing plane for use as an intercity transport in the nation's busy metropolitan air corridors.
Also, never quite came into fruition. Just want to put that out there.
Attacking the jet noise problem at its source, engineers at the Lewis Research Center in Cleveland are supervising tests of a quieter jet engine. The goal is to develop an engine that will be 15 to 20 decibels quieter than present aircraft engines.
Now, this is Apollo 14. And by the way, the Gemini program is in here. Although the guy, that guy I showed you that's narrating it, he keeps calling it Jiminy. Hey, sounds like Jiminy Cricket. The reason I'm going to show you this section up until about 5 minutes is because we get into lunar rocks. And I think that's something we should really talk about. Lunar rocks.
The scene is Cape Canaveral, Friday, May 5th, 1961. It was on this date that astronaut Alan B. Shepard became the first American to be rocketed into space.
Bum, 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 ba-dum, bum.
years later, January 31st, 1971, Alan B. Shepard made his second space flight, this time as commander of Apollo 14, the country's third moon landing. With astronauts Mitchell and Russa accompanying Shepard, Apollo 14 marked the beginning of large-scale use of the moon for science. These are some of the 94 pounds of lunar rocks returned from the moon's ancient hills of Fra Mauro by Apollo 14.
94 pounds of lunar rocks, supposedly, we came back with.
They are beginning to tell scientists a story 3.5 billion years old. From them, we are learning about the early history of not only the moon, but other planets as well. The Earth, Mars, even Venus and Mercury.
Now, my question is, and we won't get you into Apollo 15. Again, I'm going to be watching like all 8 hours of this because that's who I am. Maybe we'll pull some other stuff out of it. My question would be, okay, if this is a reality, and by the way, I never played that Biden clip. We should play the Biden clip because it is important. Because it shows you that the media might be gunning for these, gunning to get rid of him. Here it is right here. Moon Rockin' Museum is just petrified wood. The Dutch National Museum, this is 2009, by the way, said Thursday that one of its prized possessions, a rock supposedly brought back from the moon by U.S. astronauts, is just a piece of petrified wood. We should totally trust NASA. They are totally and completely honest all the time. All the time. Just like CNN is honest all the time. Because I've got a lineup of WEF NASA clips. And NASA, pushing it. I've got this Bushnell long clip. I've got Boston Dynamics, etc. But let's cut back. We're all over the place today. Classified documents from Biden's time as VP discovered in private office. And ask yourself, when has CNN gone after Joe Biden like this?
We have sound of current President Biden addressing the handling of classified documents and the care in which he believes they should be handled. And we should listen to that. I think we have this.
When you saw the photograph of the top secret documents laid out on the floor at Mar-a-Lago, what did you think to yourself, looking at that image?
How that could possibly happen, how anyone could be that irresponsible. And I thought, what data was in there that may compromise sources and methods? By that I mean names of people who helped, or et cetera. And it's just totally irresponsible.
Totally irresponsible. And
I just want to be precise. That was released on CBS 60 Minutes on September 18th, 2022, about a month or so before, maybe 2 months before they found similar documents at the Biden private office.
Right, exactly. The president obviously was not, according to the statement that we received from the White House, was not at that point aware of the discovery of these items. But what it will call into question is, just as the president made this mistake, or someone made this mistake and transported these documents to the Penn Biden Center, just as easily someone could have done this in the case of former President Donald Trump. And the question to the Justice Department is, are you treating them differently? Obviously,
but the question is,
again, the Trump investigation,
whether or not these are from prior to him becoming president. Because if it is prior to him becoming president, in other words, not the documents, but they were there, that's a problem. That's a problem. This screams a setup to me to take him out because of the way the media is covering it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's a long shot. Maybe they want the poopy pants puppet in there for as long as they can ride it out. I don't know. Maybe they got upset that now there's talk that he's going to run again in 2024 and we're just too damn close to the election cycle, that they got to start tearing the guy down and using more leverage. But he doesn't know where he is. He thinks he's talking to the Secret Service or he's talking to the Salvation Army.
We know has taken a much different turn, right? You have months and months between where the archives was asking for these documents to be returned. We know that the former president basically thought that these documents belonged to him. He considered them personal because
And he said he could declassify
and
them
he could
just by
declassify
thinking
it.
about it.
Right.
Well, he could. He was the president of the United States. He took them. It was a ridiculous argument, but again, we're in witch hunt territory. If it wasn't a ridiculous argument, he had actually broken the law. These people at the top are frothing at the mouth to arrest him and still have not. And I give that credit to Trump. I give him at least that much. And people can be in imagination land and act like that's not real. It is real. Again, look how they're covering this case with Biden. It is important. It's something that we need to pay attention to on the peripheral. When is the FBI going to raid the White House? Trump leads Republican rage as he demands action after 10 classified documents were found at Biden's think tank from his time as VP when he did not have power to declassify documents. So again, that's the argument. If in fact, they were there prior to his presidency, it's a good way to get him out of there. It's a good way to get him out of there and not have to bend the knee to the reality that this guy hasn't run anything, that he hasn't been mentally capable of running, again, a Wendy's, being a shift manager at a Wendy's, and really being a counter person at Wendy's. He could maybe possibly make it as a Walmart greeter, but I would imagine he would be touching and sniffing too many women and children, quite frankly, to keep that position as well. Like if you put him in a little blue sash and put him on the chair, I personally like the ones that aren't on the chair. It shows you that they're making that extra effort, and even though they're in their golden years, they're trying to stand up, get a little bit of exercise in there, right? Prefer that. But even if you stuck him on the chair, he'd be reaching for children constantly. This is a guy that bikes into a fall, bikes into a full-on fall. First thing he does when he comes up, goes straight for the kid, goes straight for the child. Why is that? Why is it we're okay with that? I can't answer that question. All right. So I've got some WEF clips here. We're going to play several because they integrate with NASA in a big way. And they integrate with the Build Back Better plan and everything we've been talking about today. And this one right here is the World Economic Forum telling us how great the pandemic was and how our lives have really changed for the better. So what do you want to keep from the pandemic? You understand? We want you to keep stuff. What are you going to keep from the pandemic? 5 ways the pandemic could change our lives forever. Remember, reimagining offices. Exactly what Andrew Capo Cuomo was talking about. And we got the shields. We got the masks forever, just like in the Immuniband. Right? There's Purell and QR codes everywhere. Just awesome. We can keep that. And this idea of the 15-minute cities, the Neoms of the world, the neighborhood hubs, your slavery. Yeah, it's a 15-minute walk because we're not going to let you drive anymore. And you're not going to be able to afford to live in the suburbs or have your own home. You're going to be in a small apartment pod. So love it. We'll keep that too. We're going to show you trees, cloud markets. Ooh, ghost kitchens. Restaurants that solely deliver takeaway meals. Gross. They don't want human interaction. When they do have human interaction of delivery people, wear your mask, wear your gloves, be a slave. And by the way, NASA is going to allow us to identify you by your heartbeat when facial recognition fails, because we've masked you up. And we can double it down. Thank you, NASA, for this invention that hones in on your heart, which is just as unique as your fingerprint. Yay, NASA. And again, digital technology is going to change the way your children learn. It wasn't bad enough that we made them mask up. We isolated them from other kids. We want AI robots teaching them in a virtual classroom. That's where it really goes. Okay? It's going to improve their digital skills. Because when we're outside, everybody's got to be in a slave mask. This is the World Economic Forum. Okay? And we're far from done. See? Permanent changes from the pandemic. Just what Cuomo told you, permanent. What would you like to make permanent? Do you like being alone on a bike in gloves and a mask with a headset on? Good, because we'll keep it. Fantastic. All right. So here is some more NASA WEF propaganda. Okay, because they're looking for volunteers here to practice living on Mars. And that's one of the big sells, right? It's a great cover for NASA. It's a great cover for Elon Musk or nuts. We're going to Mars! No, we're not! That's a... It's a total front. That's Hollywood nonsense. We're not going to Mars. That doesn't mean that, again, some other type of propulsion system, maybe some black program out there. Rockets ain't taking us to Mars. Okay? And Bushnell tells you humans will not be the ones on Mars first. It will be nano robots that surveil it and then bring back a virtual universe. Now, let's say they just told us that nanobots were on Mars, surveyed everything, and we created the virtual universe. Could we do that? Well, I will argue that this clip tells you, of course we could do that, because we're going to build facilities that look and feel like Mars. Who needs a virtual environment when you got people looking to volunteer to practice living there? All right, so, 4 people will spend a year living in a 3D printed module that simulates the conditions of life on Mars. So, total imagination. And this just shows you like the Hollywood, it's smaller than a tennis court. And the crew must face circumstances that could arise on Mars. They're building a virtual NASA environment. This is like a psychological experiment on these people. They're going to perform simulated space walks and perform scientific research. It will be a physically and mentally demanding mission, and its application requirements are equally demanding. It's 30 to 55 with a master's and a degree in STEM. You must also have logged 2 years of professional experience in your field. Ooh. Or at least 1,000 hours as a jet pilot. NASA says it will help prepare humans for the mission to Mars that could launch sometime in the 2030s. No way. Not real. The 2030s. They might tell you that. We got CGI like you wouldn't believe. Everything you just saw there is preparing you for a false reality. And again, World Economic Forum, NASA. Who else out there is making the connection between the World Economic Forum and NASA other than me? I mean, it's a real damn connection. They're putting it out there all the time. And you see these, you will own nothing and be happy. You'll be part of the blockchain slavery system. We'll play that one too, where, they brag about how they're going to utilize this internet of things and bodies and blockchain to totally enslave you, blockchain people. All right. All that technology. But they openly have these massive propaganda pieces strictly about NASA. Here is yet another one where they brag about their basic partnership with this NASA agenda. 3 ways NASA technology is improving life back on Earth. It's not a space agency. Okay? It's about what? Psychological warfare. It's about what? It's about geoengineering. It's about what? Bioengineering. It's about a real agenda that, in my opinion, is completely and totally anti-human. It is a transhuman agenda. Okay? See, they're fighting air pollution. That's brings us right back to Ellen. They're so concerned. We're fighting air pollution. NASA fights air pollution. Okay. What else are they about? Lunar dust can damage astronauts' eyes and lungs as well as equipment. Ooh, the lunar dust. So they developed high-grade air sensors to monitor dust on space missions, which is so good it's now used on Earth. Isn't that great? The Canary S picks up pollutants and methane. See, pollutants such as methane and carbon monoxide. All right? Okay? You'll never have it pick up GMOs, toxic poisons, methane, and carbon monoxide. And by the way, I reported on this way back in 2009. And let's see if we can bring it up. But It was somebody who had figured out how to take carbon dioxide out of the water and make it into methanol, a form of energy. Carbon dioxide out of water into methanol. All right, here it is right here. Making it energy. Carbon dioxide to methanol process improved by catalyst 2018. Now, again, 2009 is when I first, reported on it, because if this was real, okay, if this was real and carbon dioxide was the big bad boogeyman that was going to really take us out, why wouldn't we do this? Oh, because it would empower us. I mean, look at this. Methanol conversion. It's mainline science. When have you ever heard about this? When have you ever heard about this? But don't worry, the Canary S picks up pollutants such as methane and carbon monoxide. See, they don't want you to know. They want to put methane as a pollutant when you can make methanol. And carbon dioxide as a pollutant when you can make methanol a form of energy. Just, yeah, okay. The U.S. uses it to monitor air quality in near schools and emissions from forest fires, giving farmers a bird's eye view. For almost a decade, NASA has been building drones that will fly on Mars. More Mars. That research was crucial for creating higher altitude drones on Earth. Of course, we just showed you some of the propulsion systems from like the 60s and 70s. And the drone-like maneuverability of planes and these other things that were being dropped from the sky. It's all NASA tech and Air Force tech trickled down in the consumer realm. It's exactly what it is. We need to grow up. It's like the real deal here. Okay? So again, it's going to empower farmers. Yeah, farmers like who? Bill Gates? We love him. Oh, we're going to clean up the toxins in the earth. NASA science developed a way to fight the world's most widespread human-made contaminant. PCBs are now banned, but they still leach out of landfills and waterways. Yes, that the ecospheres are going to help us. Removes PCBs from the environment like a sponge. What's your favorite technological innovation by NASA? What do you love about NASA? We all love NASA. Ooh, NASA, just the best. They really are. They're number one, huh? Can't get enough of that wonderful stuff from NASA. I wish I was joking. I really do. It gets to a point where this stuff is like right in your face, and people are like, Jason, you're going over the top. NASA's a space agency, man. We're going to the moon. Artemis is going to the moon. I'm like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? And South Korea now getting into the moon mix, by the way. What do you mean they're getting into the moon mix? So, this is how you know you've made it as a nation, when you say that you've been to the moon. And maybe, who knows, maybe they've been there. South Korea's first ever lunar orbiter, Dan sends back stunning black and white photos of the moon's surface and Earth. And here are those stunning photographs. Here they are, the New Year's Eve. Yeah. Oh, yeah, there we go. There's some Earth shot. There's some moon shot. Yeah. Go South Korea. You're coming up when you're part of the space program. You're about to be a main player when you're part of the space program. Just want to throw that out there. So I want to play this refugee and blockchain World Economic Forum piece, because that seems to be what we're doing today, is letting you know that this is all integrated. And here it is. I mean, this is blockchain slavery for people based on a system of not only a social credit score, but your biometric information as well. It's that stepping stone from what we have in a track trace database society to the fourth industrial revolution. And they're totally promoting it. The refugee camp runs on the blockchain. Yay! Awesome. They can shop at supermarkets without any physical money. And to pay, they just look in the camera. All part of what? The Global Food Program, the IMF. See, the iris scanner connects to that World Food Program account. Okay, the blockchain could help refugees find work, yes, inside the slave camps, and it stores your digital identity. I love things that store my digital identity. It's exactly what I'd like. I mean, look at this handsome young gentleman here just giving up his digital identity. Isn't that great? Without the need for paperwork like passports, exam certificates, and financial histories, and especially things like, the Immuniband, your vaccine passport. It will help with the compliance that Albert Borla or whatever from Pfizer is talking about when you take your electronic pills. It will help with all that. Oh, they're often destroyed during conflict or seized by hostile governments. Don't worry, when that happens, we've got your system right here. We don't want bank transactions or anything like that because there's too many fees. We want zeros and ones in a blockchain format to cut fees by 98% and have you love your new slavery right here. Because that's a very happy refugee camp, obviously, with a bunch of people sleeping on the floor. Just great. Fantastic. I mean, it's just... And the World Food Program, it's global. Okay? Is blockchain the future for humanitarian aid? Yay! Because I want to be an older lady in a shawl, all right, that is totally, beholden to a biometric slave system run by global governance, that are pushing robots via pop culture. So just like NASA and the moon and Mars and space travel has been promoted by entertainment, the same thing has been done with animatronics, robotics, and they've been used to normalize DARPA technology like this one that also is integrated into that business world, runs on what? Google. It runs on the Android operating system, so that public-private partnership. Google already partnering with NASA in artificial intelligence and quantum computing. Forget about all the other programs. Forget about Calico, their immortality division, and so many others. Forget about their partnerships with large media outlets to be the authoritative sources such as Vox. Forget about the pre-bunking aspect of all this. Let's just go with the psychological warfare via entertainment. And I don't get K-pop. I don't know. Speaking of South Korea, maybe not my thing. I've never been into boy bands in general or girl bands in general. Even the Spice Girls craze, a young Jason Bermas kind of missed out. Didn't love it. But now, obviously, young Asian men that barely speak English and are pop stars, they're going to sell you on the robots and how great they are. Very well shot. Boston Dynamics, MIT, DARPA. Boston Dynamics, MIT, DARPA, and now Hyundai. Oh. Okay. So, it's a cute little robot. It's on the move. It's doing it right. Oh, there's a little box, huh? It's a cartoon. Oh, it's a little car. Fantastic. Everybody loves little cars. Okay, so we got the little car. That's great. Okay, okay, we got the little car. That can come in. Kids Nexo. Isn't that great? How about you? Spot, the DARPA dog. You're like a little pet. Let's humanize you a little more. Yeah, you can come on in. Come on. Oh, hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. There you go. You got your little neck bracelet on. It's good. You're supposed to be here. Fantastic. Oh, capo, yeah. Asian boys dressed kind of like little girls. Whoa! Oh! They're happy.
이름 써 있네. Spot.
Yeah. I just, what the hell is the appeal of K-pop? Whoa! Yeah, we'll do push-ups with a robot. The robot's not going to out-push-up me.
Let's get it. 리듬감이 좋은 친구네. 너 우리 춤 아는 거 있어?
I mean,
보여줘.
what's going on? Like, K-pop should alone let you know this whole thing's a psyop, right? They can make whatever they want popular and push it down your throat. There's no way that organically K-pop became popular in the United States and then pushing robot agendas. Oh yeah. Oh, now there's the Boston Dynamics robot. And I would imagine that that's actually CGI and not Atlas. But who knows? They can already do pretty incredible things. Their Spot has a little mount on the back with the screen. And now he's got the dinosaur-like head. Now we got a multitude of them with the dinosaur-like head attachments. It's a new beginning for Hyundai, where they're going to automate you out with robots and K-pop.
칼군무, 초칼군무.
I just... yeah. 2023 is going to be fun. 2022 was so great. 2022 just fantastic. Fan-frickin-tastic. All right, let's hit some other stories. Whoa. Hold up. We can't show you the rest of the video because this is YouTube. Now, that is part of the second hour with redvoicemedia.com. You premium members have probably already seen it. I want to thank you so much. We did just post it to other platforms in full like Rockfin and Rumble. Make sure to give a follow on both of those. But what I really want to remind people of is, great, you don't want to support the broadcast. We've been doing this since October. So that means 4 days a week, every month since October, minus the last 2 weeks, are now available for free. They're out there. They're for you. Hey now. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. So get over there. Get over to redvoicemedia.com/Jason, even if you're not subscribing. Be great if you did. Spent that $10 a month or $100. Lock it in. You like this content. And literally, there are now months of archives you can find for free. And like I said, the video you're watching right now is at the top of the chain over at Rockfin and Rumble. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the flip.